Welcome back, watch fans. Today we're going to be looking at an officer's watch that more than grabs your attention. It's one that I feel really gives you every bit of detail that you would want in a watch of that caliber and that style, but it's going to give you also something that is so different from what we are usually seeing when it comes to the quality watchmakers. Well, this particular Patek is going to give us something that I know you could look forward to, and I'm absolutely sure this is probably the first time, even for my horology fans out there, to see these three, this trilogy together, where you actually have the 5159J, the 5159R, and of course, it would not be complete without having the 5159G, so that we could have the full gold collection all together at once. Something you only find somewhere like SwissWatchExpo. That unique unicorn of a place that is going to give you everything that you're desiring in the Patek collection itself. These pieces are one that I absolutely fell in love with when I was looking at the differences in styles and purposes for watches. With an officer's watch, what that just meant was we were basically moving from the pocket watch to a more useful tool-related watch for someone who was actually an officer, and they were not just for officers, but anyone military-wise who was in the field or may have been around that. It's simply because it's a little bit harder when you need to be able to focus on your aim and shooting, focusing on the things that are around you and the atmosphere that you are currently in that situation. To be reaching into your pocket and checking your pocket watch is not what you really want to be doing, right? So what you did was a lot of people would actually take their pocket watch. They would go and have lugs, or they would call them horns back in the 1930s, and they would actually go to a watchmaker, or they would go to a jeweler after leaving their watchmaker, if that watchmaker couldn't do it, and they would have those horns or lugs soldered onto the sides. Hence, that is what we have or wear today now to be the wristwatch. The wristwatch, of course, starting off being a pocket watch. That's where it creates its heritage. Well, this Calatrava, which originally was not called a Calatrava, actually was birthed from the reference 96. That was a huge deal because for Patek, that was when they had their name at the height around the world. So much so that synonymously, people didn't call a watch a watch. They called a watch a Patek. Whether it was actually a Patek or not, it was still going to be called that because that was the number one name that rang or made you think of what it was during that time. One of the biggest things for that time frame too was, remember, you do have war going on. So this is something that is not just a good creation or something that's fancy to wear, but it actually has genuine purpose. Not only does it have genuine purpose, I love the fact that Patek continued to make more designs in that Calatrava and pay homage to the fact that this is when the Stern family actually begins to come or transitions into the Patek world themselves. They start off as dial makers. Within a year, they are owning parts of the company and then take over. And they do a fantastic job of it. And they would then, lineage-wise, continue to pour into this company itself. And this is the end where at the last actual member who would carry a Patek or Philippe name, because key is still attached to them as well. But they're moving into that Stern portion of their history. And I think that they did a fantastic job in 2007 of re-releasing this piece. Now, with this particular piece, this officer watch, you actually get quite a few things. One of the things that I love first, we'll look at, is actually going to be the case back. So this actually opens, it gives you that pocket watch heritage. When you actually open the watch, you can see the movement itself, which I really find to be fun. When I'm looking at a piece and I'm enjoying the actual quality of the piece, to say that it's an officer's watch and for it to then give me some of those old vintage features, but on a modern piece, I really feel like that was done extremely well. Double kudos to the actual designers of the watch itself. Outside of actually having that as a feature, you're going to have a lot of things that you would actually use tool-wise, and they're going to be right there on your wrist, easy to read. So we do actually have the day of the week. That's actually going to be listed on there at 9 o'clock. We will have the moon phase down here at 6 o'clock. We will actually have a season phase. Yes. You do not find that most times. That's going to be at 12 o'clock on this particular watch. And guess what? It would not be right if we did not have the month. And then on the dial, we even have the date itself. So if you notice, it goes from 1 to 31 going around on the dial. And it does not get in the way of the actual hands, the minute and hour marker hands, that are still going to be able to show you what's going on. Because for the date itself, it has that red arrow tip that gives you that beautiful red that absolutely grabs your eyes. What's also done really fun on this piece is you do have white gold hands on this one. Now, if it does change and you have rose or you actually have yellow gold, then those hands would be in that color, but then they're die struck black. That way you don't have them actually shining in the field or giving a glare. It's instantly easy to read. Now, a lot of people would say, well, Ro, I get that, but why is the second hand not done that way as well? Because you want the contrast to be able to instantly see the second hand. So when you're looking at it, I can look down if I need seconds, but if I'm just looking to see the actual time, that's going to be there. This is a huge deal because being an officer's watch, that second hand I may want just for accuracy, for something quick to do, but when it came to a minute and hour hand, remember your watch is also a compass. So it actually tells you where you are or location, and that was a big thing because remember, there's nothing digital almost in the world at that point. So this gives you an advantage over your competitor who may not have those same tools and things. So not only do I have a watch that tells me all of those fun things, but it can also be used as a compass because we all know that the sun rises in the and it sets in the. So, of course, by having this, it gives us another feature. Those are just some of the things that actually set this brand apart. I actually enjoyed my time working for them. It was something that was very unique. I love the company, the history, and the morals of the company itself. Gives you something that is absolutely different. And that's one of the things that we find to be fun here at Swiss Watch Expo because you get that same great feel and a family-owned company that is building a tradition that you cannot find anywhere else. But we want to know what you think about the 5159. Which is your favorite? Please share it with us in the comments below here at Swiss Watch Expo.